I'm live. Well, look at that. Hi, two people. Can you hear me? Say something in the chat if you can hear me. We're going to have a special guest star if she decides to come out. With the jacket.
That's because it's 20 below out here.
All right. Well, we got no one watching, so this is going to be really good. So we'll just talk. We don't need to care if anybody's watching. Let's not drop my phone so you can put your jacket on. It's not cold, right?
Well, it's October,
October.
so it should be kind of.
I don't know why it changed. Yeah, good. You can see us on the phone. We're obviously new at this, so this is going to be annoying with the sound on. There we go. So yeah. Well, let's just tell you what's going on. I am the guy who does all these videos on this 69 Charger that's behind me, and this is my wife, and we've been working and working. Hi, William Green. How's it going? What else? I've been doing this car for 6 years. If you've looked through my videos, I had a 73 Nova since I was 15, and then about 6 years ago put a 383 stroker and a 4-speed Muncie in it and got that running, and then just happened to come across this car on the old eBay, which is crazy now that I think about it. But we rented a truck, borrowed a trailer, drove out to South Dakota to get it from this guy. I was going to say sketchy guy, but that's pretty rude, so we won't say that, even though this is live. Can't edit that out now. But the question you might be asking yourself, William Green is the only one on here, is why do you need 2 muscle cars? Or how did you convince your wife to do it? Because, I had just spent a ton of money on an engine and getting the Nova going. And then I'm like, hey, why don't we spend way more and buy a rusty piece of crap that's so dented and rusty and doesn't run that we can get that too and drive to like 1,500 miles, something?
At least it took us 2 days to get there.
So we drove, about 1,500 miles to go get it. And then, then the way back. And then, of course, there's all kinds of stories that go along with that, where we're staying in really sketchy motels. And but we got it back, and I had no idea what to do. I have no experience welding, or I knew how to generally work on cars just from working on the Nova. And my good friend Les, who has a channel, by the way, it's called what is it called?
The Road Less Traveled.
The Road Less Traveled. If you look in my channel, on my channel's page in the channels, it'll have the Road Less Traveled. It also has her channel. If you or your wife or somebody likes decor or whatever that is, sweet. So anyway, and you can see the earlier videos on this channel were really jumpy and I didn't know what I was doing. I was just cutting pieces off because the entire back of the car was just garbage. The trunk pan, the tail light panel, everything, just pretty much from the back of the doors all the way back. It's just junk. And
so why a 69 Charger?
Well, of course, as I'm building the generallee, you can tell by the hat, you can tell by everything. I've always wanted a generallee, and that's why. And now I bought this car. I probably said on videos, should I say how much I bought? Let's just say I bought it for way lower than people can buy it for now. And still, it was a ton of money to buy a car that didn't run at all and wouldn't run with, a ton of money put into it. If I would have left it all rusty and garbage, you look at some of the first videos if you want, that it was just such junk. I took the rear end out, replaced the leaf springs. I cut the trunk floor out. I just cut the entire back of it off. On the driver's side, had to do the wheelhouse, outer wheelhouse, both fenders, hood. It now has new doors, new quarters, tail panel, rear valance, front valance, everything. I mean, everything. And again, I didn't know how to weld. First, I bought a little Harbor Freight welder, which was just junk. And I actually did some welding on the Nova with that, which still needs to be redone. Then I got, what do you call it? Can't think of the name. Lincoln Electric. Got a cheaper Lincoln Electric that just wasn't powerful enough. Then I got this one, and I've used this one for most of the welding. So, another question?
How do you decide where to begin? If somebody wanted to start this kind of a project, where do you start?
Make sure you have a solid marriage. Because I'm telling you, that what sounded like a joke, but I'm serious. If your wife is going to let you go spend, let you. I'm in charge. I'm just kidding. Sorry. No, seriously, if your wife is cool with you spending a ton of money on a piece of crap, that's the first thing. Because I'm telling you, you have to have real vision. And I mean, we're on year 6. This car, it's not painted. I do have an engine for it. We went to, where did we go? Kentucky. Look in one of the previous videos where we went to Kentucky and bought an engine from a guy. It was in a 68 Charger, and it's still not in. I have it, but it's not in. It comes with everything, engine, transmission, la-di-da. I think the only thing I really need is a radiator. Not a radiator, a battery. So we're all set that way once I get it painted. And I wasn't going to paint the engine compartment, but I'm going to. Back to your question, how, why, what? I don't know. My friend Les, you'll see him in a lot of the videos. He's like, just cut it off. I mean, you watched one of the first videos, and I'm really nervous about cutting a piece of this car off. I just got a grinder, cut off wheel, and cut it off. And you can see my progression of just having no clue to what I'm doing to learning over time, especially the welding and some of the what do I call it, detail stuff. Les still will do for me because he's got 100 years experience where he's old. Yeah, hi Les.
Les, if you're watching, we know you're not 100 years old.
150 maybe. But yeah, she's come out on multiple occasions and helped, and tons of sanding, and that's what stage it's in now. If you look behind me, I had it all in epoxy primer, and then it wasn't perfect enough. And I know that sounds kind of picky, but it was good, probably better than it would have come from the factory, but not good enough. So I put a skim coat of filler over the epoxy primer, and there's this big debate of whether to put epoxy primer down first or filler first or whatever, but I put the epoxy down first. And first I sanded it all down to bare metal. There's a video of that too. But that's after I even had all the quarters on and the fenders ready and things like that. I have probably, 6 doors to this car. I had a spare set of fenders, which is another story, where a guy online wanted to buy them, and it was a gigantic hassle, and $1,000 to ship it to him. But I only charged him $500 because to me these fenders were crap. They were usable if you want to cut them apart and patch them and whatever, but I wasn't going to do that. So he bought them, but then had one of my son's friends take him clear down. It would have been an 11-hour drive to get there, and he took him halfway. And the guy bailed on him, and he brought him back. It was a serious pain in the butt. And finally, he wanted me to take him to UPS and pay for him, and he'd pay me back. Am I that dumb? No. I said, I'll take him to UPS, but you can talk to him about the payment. And I did, and I haven't heard anything since. And it's been at least a couple of months ago. So hopefully he got him and everything worked out fine. But man, what a pain. I won't do that again. If somebody wants to buy some of these doors, and I've got 2 deck lids and another hood and just a bunch of junk for it. If anybody wants to buy them, they'd have to contact me and come and get them. I don't think I would mail anything anymore. But yeah, cutting them off, welding. Probably the first welding I did was in the interior floor, which maybe I may have to go back when we get to that point and just make sure it's solid. It's pretty solid. There's a couple places in the frame I've welded, and then just welding the sheet metal on around the wheel wells and all that stuff. The rear valance corners, they were a mess. And honestly, I kind of just almost gave up when I got to those, because they have a line. If you look on the stock ones on the sides, the line where it comes down. And I tried everything I could. And you watch this guy, Junker Up, Chris Birdsong. He's a magician at these things. He's done probably, I don't know, 30 cars or more. He did the one for the Mayhem car that was a 68 Charger. He's done, I mean, look at his channel. Birdsong, Chris Birdsong, look him up. Great, amazing. And especially compared to me. So anyway, I ended up welding them really nice. And then honestly, I used filler, which I didn't want to have to do at all. But I couldn't make it look nice enough without doing it just in metalwork, because it wasn't, I didn't do it right, probably. Now it's structurally sound, it's all welded tight, but the amount of perfection I wanted to have, it wouldn't have passed my thing. And I thought about filling in the reverse lights, or filling in the marker lights. Do you know the marker lights alone? Don't listen. The marker lights alone are $200. Little teeny piece of plastic. They gouge you like you would not believe. These fenders, don't listen, are like $800 a piece. It's insane. And when I was doing one of the quarters, I was trying to, this will make you laugh, people that know what they're doing. I was trying to make the gaps good on the driver's side door. So I, said, I'll just cut a little strip out right on the driver's side door. And I screwed up the entire quarter. And if it weren't for my good friend Les, it would be just a mess. So I bought another, like a portion of a quarter, cut the wrecked part out. There's a video on it, which is embarrassing, but I did it. And now it's, it's perfect now. But man, for a month or two, it was just a mess. There's a video on there when I got the wheels. There's a video on there when we get the engine. There's a video. There's a ton of videos, especially lately, of sanding, because that's all I'm doing is sanding. So
If there was, or if you were doing this project again, what are some tips that you've learned along the way that you would have wanted to know at the beginning?
Take somebody with you that knows the car. Really. There's a friend of Chris's on here, Chris Birdsong's. I forgot his name, but he has a Firebird. His real name is Vlad. I don't remember what his channel's name. Oh, Invincible Extremes. Check his channel out. He's really good too, but you should see him. He was driving this Firebird, towing a 69 Charger, which was just really old school. You never see anybody towing with a car, but it was cool. I don't think I would have been able to get somebody as good as like Chris Birdsong, Junker Up, to come and take a look at this car. I probably still would have bought it anyway, but this car is good compared to what was out there. What's out there now, and they are garbage. There's one on eBay right now, as of yesterday, that is selling the fender tag, or the VIN tag, maybe the fender tag too. But there's no car. It's just the VIN number. And you can get, if not all, pretty much most of this car from AMD. And I don't make any money from AMD, but they're great. They've put me on their Instagram before, so they're good. There's another guy that lives near me that he's doing a 68 Charger, rust bucket restos. He does amazing work. See, these guys are like real, like welder guys. Like, they know this stuff. Me, I want a generallee so I can jump a river, not jump a river. We could get into the flag and how my sister called me a racist, and no. Anybody who's seen any of my videos or knows me at all knows that has nothing to do with it. I like the TV show from when I was a kid, and that's it. That's it. I want to be in the car. Bo and Luke Duke. Yeehaw. And if the flag's going to offend you, I don't want to say I'm sorry, because I'm not sorry, but I'm not. It's not my intention. I'm just trying to have fun, So, and if that offends you, you're probably a snowflake. Sorry. and you're probably not watching my channel if you don't like the generallee. I know that's kind of rude, but I don't care. And this is live, so again, I don't care. Wife, what would you do if you were looking for a new husband that didn't like cars, that liked Barbie dolls or something?
Well, it would probably cost a lot less money and a lot less time. I have learned some interesting hacks from being the wife of a guy building a car.
Like what?
Like you have to clean the floor of the shower very differently because of all of the oil.
Yeah, true.
I mean, it's just crazy. Like I wouldn't have expected things like that to be a problem. I always wonder why the rug is more dirty than I would have expected it to be.
And the garage is just always dusty and greasy. And I find that especially on the weekends, always greasy and dirty. And I keep breaking my own rules. Even the last video, I said something really quick about I'm breaking my own rule because I'm sanding without a mask on. Because I'm like, oh, I'll just sand really quick. Usually, if I'm not using the air tools, it's kind of doesn't feel like you're breathing it in. But I'm telling you, I woke up this morning, my eyes are like stuck shut, and I'm like just crud in my throat. And yeah, I mean it's cool. If you can see, probably can't see, but if you look on the other videos, the door and the sides, they're straight as an arrow. It's beautiful. And I would never build this car out of filler. Filler should be made to enhance the surface, not build it. And I learned that from what's his name? I forgot his name, but he's on one of my other videos. Kevin Tates, I think is his name. Yeah, he's like on that musclecar channel. He did the Camaro, the black Camaro. I've learned a lot of stuff from him. A lot of stuff from the Eastwood people. And there's stories about that where I vent about the shipping from FedEx. Those idiots. I'm sorry, they just what a mess. Eastwood's been pretty good, but their shipping from FedEx is ridiculous. When I had a lot of time off, they just burned through my time, and time is valuable when you're doing this kind of thing. So anyone else out there have any questions? You can type it on the side there. Who's on here? 1 million people probably. Who's watching it later? I don't know. There'll be more videos. I wanted to have it painted by the end of this summer. Obviously it didn't happen because we're now in October. We're pretty close to Halloween. And I mean, what are we, the 24th? Yeah. Oh, and I'm going to be doing these lives every Sunday. So even though this is like the first, kind of a chat session, I've done lives where like on the bullet bike where I got it running and, stuff where I got that quarter, but they're always really bouncy with the phone and blurry. And I've seen where, people will do this. Like another good one I like, if you haven't seen, is Vice Grip Garage. I was talking to him when he had, only several thousand subscribers, about like where I am, maybe a little more. And if he hasn't hit 1 million, he's about to. He's silly. He's like, kind of plays up on the countryness of himself, and he's always looking to fix up junky cars and see if he can go. What's that other one? Junkyard Digs, really good channel. We go get that kid, let her in. I want her to be on it. So wife's gonna go grab the real star of our show. The main thing with this channel is I think it kind of proves anyone can do it. If you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything. You can take a guy like me that has general mechanic knowledge and do it. Come here, dog. Right here. This is our mascot. Come here. Come here. Say hello. Oh, she wants to. Mommy, careful, careful, careful. Don't let her. Just let me have that. Oh, there's the other one. Anyway, you get to meet the whole family, except for the son. If the channel's Geek and Son, why did I name it that? Well, you can look back and you see my son, 6 years ago when he was a little boy to compare to now. And it's kind of almost documented his childhood where he's sanding and helping me weld and grind, and it's pretty cool. Dogs are here now. Maybe that was a bad idea. So what are we at? How long? We've been up for about 20 minutes now. Oh, another one. D&D Speed Shop or DD Speed Shop. The guy's out of Canada. He's building a lot of Bel Airs. His latest video, he just got a Nomad. And my friend Les, the guy that helps me do a lot of work, he's got a 55. It's not a Nomad. It kind of looks like it, but it's called a Handyman. I'm sure we'll put some videos on his channel about that. I don't know if we've had any on this channel about his car. But most people seem to like the generallee or the 69 Charger, so that's what it's kind of really been about. And other guys, Heavy Pedal Garage. He's building a Firebird. I think he just painted it. Yeah. I'm sorry for forgetting somebody, but it's funny because you get a community on here, and you start making friends with all these other guys that are on here, or even girls that are building all this stuff. Oh, what's the guy? Bad Chad. He's a little eccentric, where he just does it his own way. But his stuff looks good if you like that kind of like putting a different top on the bottom of a car, like a truck top. It's, but very good at body work and things like that. So we're not having a lot of people join. I feel kind of hurt. I only did give a couple hours notice, but next Sunday, we'll have another one, and about the same time, about 6 p.m. So make sure you log on. I'll give it a couple more minutes, but I think we're about to be done. What do you want to say, wife? Tell them to go look at your channel. Tell them what your channel's about.
My channel's name is Finesse, and people wonder why Finesse. Well, one, because I try to be a little more subtle and delicate, because sometimes I watch home decor channels and I think, holy cow, those people have a lot of stuff. And so I try to be a little more minimalist. But my name kind of sounds like Finesse, and I had a friend in high school that called me that. So it's kind of a dual reason. I don't know. I really wasn't interested in having a YouTube channel, and then I had lots of people requesting it because I just enjoy being creative and having creative ways of doing things. So they were like, you really need to share that with the universe. So here we are.
Oh, there's a guy on there, my friend Pete. He's a little, I don't know, rated R, but does good body work. He's a little, he's got a little shop down in Moab, Utah, and but does good body work. So there's all kinds of people you can meet on here. I mainly did it honestly just to document this car, and then now we're up to 1,900 and something subscribers. So the more the merrier. I'm gonna start making, just like all the rest of the people, t-shirts and hats and the whole bit, all the swag, and I think that'll be cool. And again, take a look at the World Less Traveled, the Finesse channel. There's also, if you want to watch us, we're looking for some off-grid property. That's another channel, Geeks Off Grid. Also, I've got one called Geeks with Guns. If you want to check that one out, they're all listed in the the about section or the channel section of mine. Oh, what's the guy with the VWs? MX5150. Very good channel. He does a lot of Volkswagens, bugs, and then what's the guy? Musty. These are all listed. Take a look at those channels. There's some good stuff in there. And subscribe. Leave some comments, leave some likes, take a look at the videos. If you have any questions, bring them next time. All right? All right? We're good? Any questions before I quit?
Thanks for joining us for the live stream.
Bye-bye.